Hi parents, thank you so much for joining us. It's a little bit different this year. We're going to take you on a tour of our classroom. So hang on. When your children first come to school, after they've hung up their backpacks and taken their snacks out, the first thing they're going to do is come and sign their name. You'll see a chart here, has names on it and their pictures. They'll take a pencil, sign in, and then we know they're here. And then they will move either to this side or the other side. So let's start off first. We'll give you a little tour first. Here is our library. If you move on down, here's some beautiful work the children have done so far. We have our art shelf. Take you along here, just a quick pan over. Here we have our writing center. And new this year, special for COVID, we've got our own pencil boxes. So all the children have their own crayons and pencils and scissors that they can use. And when they're done working on their papers, they can put their things away in their own mailboxes. Let's move along here. We have our manipulatives, various puzzles and games. Here we've taken out some Legos to show you. This table in the morning when they first come in is a Play-Doh table, and special for COVID, we've got our own labeled Play-Doh this year. We share the Play-Doh toys because those can be wiped down. After our first centers, this table will become an art table where we take lots of different materials from this art shelf. Here we go into the block corner. We've got all our blocks. We've got lots of things to play with along in the block corner. And here is our bite, our dress-up corner. Here we can play pretend and enjoy all the things that we have here in this part of the classroom. We have our big carpet here. Here's where we sit for Ma'agal. And here we also can take some more puzzles and other kinds of toys. Continue our tour. Here we have our spot where I sit during circle. We have our Siddur and our Torah, and let's go on to the next side. We've got our wall, and here you go to another classroom. Here is our library. In this side of the classroom, we don't have a bite, but we do have a dollhouse. We don't have blocks, but we do have Lincoln Logs and lots of toy animal sets. We've got puzzles, we've got a train set. We've got lots of manipulatives here and lots of carpet space for them to play. We've got our Duplo Legos. We've got more games and things. Here we have some more manipulatives for sorting. Just like on the other side, here we have our writing center with our very own crayon box, which is kept on the other side, and the children have already learned they just take their things, go to the other side, bring it over and work on their side. We've also got our own Play-Doh, just like on the other side. And this is what our centers look like. Here is our drying rack. Here is our art shelf, our easel, which we used last week. We pulled to the middle, which we call no man's land, and a child from each side got to paint. So now let's go through our schedule. Like I said, when your children first arrive, they come with me into the large muscle room. They take out their lunch boxes. They know exactly where to place them in their cubby. They sit down with me. They take out their snacks. And here we will show you, we have a place for them to put their water bottles. They come and they know exactly how to put their snacks. We have our morning snacks, our afternoon snacks, and they do this every day with just 2 weeks into school. They've already figured out the routine. We have the same thing on the other side. They come in, they sign their name, and all the tables that I showed you and all the centers that I showed you are open for that first hour. Around 9:05, we clean up. We come and sit down at our circle area. And here is where we start our day together. It's kind of funny this year, but I actually sit in the middle of the circle. And then here we have friends on both sides of the classroom. And we sit down together, we do our yoga. We start to get our bodies ready for tefillah. We sit down and do tefillah together. Mondays and Thursdays, we share Torah stories, which we've already started because there's never a time that we can't start learning Torah. After our Torah time, we count our friends to see how many friends are here, or we do our number line, which your children can explain to you. It's another way of us doing attendance. When we do our number line, we're learning lots of different things. We learn our names, what our names start with, what our friends' names start with, our last names, our street names. We even sometimes count in Hebrew. We do lots of different things with our number line. After we finish our number line, we get ready to go outside. We do our sanitizer, and then we go outside to play. Now, our playground this year is divided into 2 sections. So one pod plays on one section, and the other pod plays on the other section, and we get some really good outside time. If the weather's not great, we have divided our time in the large muscle room to 15 minutes for each pod. So while one pod is playing there, the other pod is eating snack, and then we switch. On days when we both get to play outside, we come inside, we wash our hands in their designated. After the children wash their hands, they've got the routine down pat. They come to their table, find their name, take their own napkin, set it for themselves, grab their snack, grab their water bottle, and wait for the bracha. We make brachot together, and then we enjoy our snack. When we're done with snack, we wash our hands again, take a look at a book until center time is starting. During center time, all the areas that I showed you on both sides are open, but this is also the time where we will start our art. Last week, we were doing a lot of exploring with paint and glue. This week, we're doing a lot of things, getting to know ourselves and each other. Next week, we'll start doing things for Rosh Hashanah. We always have some kind of art going. It's always about the process, not the end product, but we're always exploring. That is one of our things we're doing during center time, along with the other activities that you saw before. When our center time is finished, we clean up. We all wash our hands again, getting ready for lunch. The children know exactly where to go to get their backpacks, get their lunches out, come and sit down. They open up their own napkins. They grab their water bottles from the basket. They wait for the bracha, and they enjoy lunch. After lunch, again, they clean up after themselves. They put their lunch boxes away. We wash our hands again, and then we look at books until all our friends are finished. We sit down and end our day by saying Birkat HaMazon, thanking Hashem for our wonderful food. And then we do our weather. We look for patterns in our weather, and it's just a fun way to end our day. We read a story, and we sing Shalom. We get ready for the afternoon. We go and get our blankets and pillows. We set up our cots, and we have some good resting time. The kids get to pick the music that I play. After a good 40 minutes of rest, probably about half hour of rest, depending on the day, we get up, we sanitize again, we get ready to play outside, depending on the weather, like I said before, either large muscle room time or outside time. The pods switch so that if you were on one side of the playground in the morning, you get the other side in the afternoon, and vice versa. After that, we come inside, we wash up again, we get ready for our snack, and after snack, clean up, wash again, and then have some center time until it's time to clean up and get ready to go home. Now, let's see what I can share with you. Some of the things that are special. On Mondays, we have gym. So we had gym with Coach Rose. Luckily, the weather's still been nice, so we are having gym in our tent on the side of our building. Depending on the day, she might be doing gym inside, and we'll kind of have to see how that goes, if she'll do one pod for 15 minutes and then the next pod for 15 minutes. Some other specials we have on Fridays. We have Shabbat, so no packing snack on Fridays. We do not serve afternoon snack, and we have a special snack that we provide special for Shabbat. We have a little Shabbat oneg after we play outside before we have snack, so that is something fun to look forward to. Some of the other things that we are working on in pre-K, starting after the Chagim, we will be starting to work on our Handwriting Without Tears. It is the program that we use to introduce letters. It is really more about letter formation, writing the letters, not as much about the sounds of the letters. While we do introduce the sounds, it is more about writing. We write everything in uppercase. We model that in the classroom for them to see their names written out that way. I do write in both upper and lowercase when we make webs and charts, but I do have their names written out all in uppercase. The letters that we work on in pre-K are all the uppercase letters. We work on them in order of ease of learning how to write them, and we use wood pieces and chalkboards that we will share with you as we move forward. We introduced this after the Chagim, so we can't wait to show this to you once we get there in a couple weeks. Let's think what else I can share with you. We are going to continue our Ivrit B'Tnuah, our Ivrit program, where we introduce words in action so that the children can hear commands and act them out. We do things like lakum, lalechet, lashevet. We add in nouns as we go through holidays. We will be sharing with you some updates of how that is going this year. We hope to incorporate as well many phrases, things like line up, things like wash your hands. We have some songs about sanitizing that we're going to be adding to our schedule as well. I think this year, if you've ever had me before, my bear dove is on hold this year with COVID going on, as well as our surprise bag. We're trying to keep things that we use to be things in school that we can sanitize and take care of, and not things that are getting sent home back and forth, but maybe sometime in the middle of the year. Let me see what else I can share with you. I think that's about it. I hope that this video gave you a little glimpse into our classroom and what we do every day. And please don't hesitate to call, ask questions. Nothing is too big or too small, and nothing is a bother, because you have entrusted your children with us this year, and they are your most precious gifts, and they are so important to us as well. And we take great pride in the jobs that we do, and we take very seriously the jobs that we do. And we want them to feel loved and cared for, and we want you to feel safe and know that your children are safe with us. So please don't hesitate to ask any questions, email, text, call, and we will do our best to get the answers you need. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you soon on Zoom.